Greetings, watch enthusiasts. Welcome back to Baze Watches, the hub for timeless elegance and precision. Today, we embark on a thrilling journey through the horological cosmos to unveil the crown jewels of 2024. Join me as we explore the top 5 watches for men, meticulously curated to elevate your style and celebrate the art of timekeeping. From classic sophistication to cutting-edge innovation, our selection transcends trends, ensuring that each timepiece is not just a purchase, but an investment in your personal narrative. So, without further ado, let's dive into the exquisite world of watches, your perfect companion in every moment. The Glassbox successfully combines the old and new. The watch manages to evoke the original while still looking like a modern watch, rather than a remake. The raised tachometer scale and domed crystals serve to give the watch a visual depth that vintage originals lack. That said, essential elements from the vintage original have been ported over to the new design, like the typography on the tachometer scale and applied markers, for instance. Importantly, the Glassbox is smaller than most other comparable Carrera models, with a case that's just 39mm in diameter. The size suits the vintage-inspired design, although the watch still remains noticeably thick as a result of the movement. The Glassbox is powered by the Calibre TH20, an in-house movement developed by Carol Forestier-Casapi, the head of movement development at TAG Heuer. It's essentially a new and improved version of the Heuer 2, the brand's long-standing chronograph movement. Amongst the upgrades is bidirectional winding. The TH20-0 movement is a modern caliber that boasts both a column wheel and vertical clutch, while its power reserve is a generous 80 hours. In its price segment, the TH20-0 is certainly a capable movement, although it is plainly industrial when seen through the open back. The Carrera chronograph Glassbox embodies the spirit of the original Carrera from 1963, but presents it in a modernized, appealing package. In 1979, Timex reduced their most well-known quartz watch, the Q. It had a lot of features that are common on mechanical watches, such as a rotating bezel with a Pepsi pattern. Among people who liked mechanical watches, but couldn't afford one, the Q became incredibly popular. As a result, it became an instant classic, which is why the re-release was so popular. The beating heart of the M79 is the automatic Miyota movement. As with most mechanical watches, the Miyota is automatic, so it does not require any winding. It ticks at a rate of 21,600 beats per hour, or 3 ticks per second. The M79 has a sharp, black and white dial that offers plenty of contrast and easy low-light visibility. The dial itself is black, with the word Timex at the top and automatic printed at the bottom. The case itself is constructed from stainless steel, with a bright, glossy finish that looks like it belongs on a more expensive watch. It measures 40mm in diameter, which lends it a medium wrist presence as you wear it. The thickness is 14.5mm, once again a fairly medium size. The bezel has a ribbed outer edge and makes the watch look a bit larger than it actually is. The case is water-resistant to 50 meters, which essentially amounts to a rating of splash-proof. Take it in the shower, but you probably shouldn't take it swimming. In conclusion, the Timex M79 Batman is a testament to Timex's ability to offer stylish and affordable watches with a nod to both vintage and contemporary design. The Seiko Arnie SJ2 is a tribute to the iconic Seiko H558-5000 watch, which gained fame as the watch worn by Arnold Schwarzenegger in several 1980s action movies. This modern reinterpretation captures the spirit of the original while incorporating contemporary materials and technology. The SJ2 is indeed 47.8mm wide, 14.4mm thick, and some 51.3mm lug-to-lug. You might be surprised by the way it hugs a less than physically impressive wrist. Yes, it's massive, but it wears really well, lightweight, and relatively square in proportions with a soft 22mm wide black silicone strap. Honestly, if you've never worn a larger tuna-style Seiko case, it's hard to understand. But while the SJ2 looks huge, it's not at all hard to wear, though it does help if you're the type who frequently eschews sleeves. Powered by a solar quartz movement, the H851, the SJ2 offers analog time that is synchronized and set by an electronic crown and the supporting digital screen. Using two locking pushers on the left case flank, the screen offers a handful of additional functions, including a digital display of the time, a calendar, local time, a chronograph, and an alarm. All of these functions are both very basic and quite useful, with minimal interface between you and the end function itself. Indeed, while the user interface is very easy to understand, it can seem a bit limited as the upper pusher is used as both an action button for some functions and as the trigger for the tiny screen's backlight. So you can have your chronograph, but you can't easily read it in the dark. Compared to the original H558 to 5009, the SJ2 adds solar power capability, a battery check system, and the ability to quickly set up a second time zone when traveling, in which home time remains on the analog display and the local time is shown on the digital. In general, while the LCD display is indeed tiny, in decent light, legibility is excellent, and as shown above, lume is not exactly in short supply. It's like 80s tech pushed its way onto the dial of an SKX7. As a faithful tribute to an interesting watch that also happened to be worn by the biggest action star of all time, the SJ2 is pure action movie fun. The Oris Divers 65's most compelling feature is its vintage charm. At a glance, this looks like a vintage watch. In hand, this feels like a vintage watch. Sure, it's a modern watch built to modern standards, but there's a certain lo-fi quirkiness present which many will find endearing. My initial impressions were quite mixed on this particular watch, and we'll see why as we dive deeper into the details. Immediately clear, however, was how comfortable this 40mm Divers 65 wore on my 6.75 wrist. With 36mm and 42mm sizes also available, it should be a piece of cake for anyone to find a Divers 65 that fits well regardless of personal preference and wrist size. The Divers 65's case is one area in which this piece really shines. While the design and finishing of the case is rather simple on the surface, Oris did an outstanding job with proportions that yield real-world comfort. In a world of overly thick and bulky dive watches, Oris deserves high praise for such a low-slung profile. The mid-case gently arcs downward from its midpoint toward each lug tip, allowing the watch to conform nicely to the natural curvature of most wrists. Furthermore, the mid-case is remarkably thin for a dive watch, resulting in a piece that wears very flat to the wrist. The stainless steel bezel with black aluminum insert is fairly standard if not unremarkable. The grip offered by the bezel teeth is adequate even when wet, and the unidirectional 120-click action is relatively positive with marginal backplay. Under the solid case back is Oris Caliber 733, which is Oris's name for the ubiquitous Sellita SW200 automatic movement fitted with the hallmark Oris red winding rotor. When considering the Divers 65 line, you'll need to carefully consider the experience you want with your watch. With the Divers 65, you're paying for a modern timepiece that has the look and feel of a vintage watch from an independent, historic Swiss brand. The Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra stands as a testament to the brand's rich nautical heritage, a lineage that traces back to Omega's early maritime timepieces. With the Aqua Terra, Omega meticulously melds the rigors of seafaring performance with the sophistication demanded by contemporary watch enthusiasts. The deep blue dial, adorned with a teak pattern reminiscent of luxury yacht decks, offers both a nod to its maritime roots and a distinctive visual appeal. Beyond aesthetics, the Aqua Terra is engineered to be a stalwart companion. Its resilience to magnetic fields ensures the watch's precision isn't swayed by today's electronic-infused environments. The robust build further reinforces its readiness for both land and sea adventures. For the modern mariner, or those who simply desire a luxury timepiece capable of transitioning seamlessly from business meetings to beachside retreats, the Aqua Terra encapsulates Omega's dedication to craftsmanship and heritage in one stunning package.